On this episode of the Ocean Cruisers podcast, I'm having a chat with Aiyanna, also known as the Pirate Princess. Aiyanna is a sailor and marine biologist from Connecticut in the States and started cruising 4 years ago on a boat which she refit by herself to go cruising full time. After spending 2 seasons on the boat, sailing to Florida and then to the Bahamas, she began to take offshore experience seriously, doing ocean crossings with friends and spending time on different boats. She spends time between Florida and Greece in the Mediterranean, where her family is from. She's currently in the buying process for a new boat, which is the boat that she's going to live on full time and travel around the world on. Aiyanna took part in the Odyssey Sailing Festival in Greece last year, helping out behind the scenes, and will be attending the Odyssey Sailing Festival in the BVI 2025, which is starting on the 1st of April, and the cabins are now available for sale. The Odyssey Sailing Festival is a week-long party on a fleet of incredible catamarans with a group of legendary skippers at the helms. We do regattas, beach parties, raft-ups, and basically experience everything the cruising life has to offer. This is the third festival we will have done and the second time that we'll be hosting the festival in the BVI with Navigare. For the 2025 Odyssey Sailing Festival, the skippers are Dan and Kika, Keanu Wilt-Zane, Dustin Reynolds, Glenn Shepherd, Lauren Landers, Erica and Warren, Raf and Sash, Eric the Viking, Holly Martin, Ian and Breeny, and Laura Decker. If you'd like to book a cabin or a berth, visit theoceancruisers.com/odyssey for more information, or email andy@theoceancruisers.com directly to book. But for now, enjoy the podcast with Aiyanna.
That's actually, my MO.
I've got a great place to start on this.
Okay.
For somebody visiting the great state of Connecticut, which is where you're from, what would be the top 5 things to do as a tourist?
There is a lot of beautiful hiking and waterfalls in Connecticut. So that's what I would say. There's a lot of like canoe kayaking spots, beautiful rivers, and
a lot of nature stuff.
Yeah, lots of nature stuff. That's what I would recommend for sure. I actually just did a camping trip for my birthday up in Northwest, like right by upstate New York. It's beautiful. During the fall time, because my birthday is in October. So nice. I would definitely recommend that. Yeah, I'm
cool. And what about Florida? Because that's your new home, isn't it?
It is, yes. I'm settling back in Florida for a season. I usually am here from like January to mid-April for work. And what to do here? Well, what isn't there to do here? It's like
go Florida.
It's
go
like
Florida.
A playground for adults here. You can do just about anything except hike up a mountain, actually, because it's very flat.
Yeah, pretty flat. Yeah, pretty flat. Can't go skiing in Florida. That's true.
Yeah.
I'm sure they've got an indoor ski resort somewhere in Florida. It has got everything.
But no, the number one attraction, though, in Florida is actually Hurricane Ayana, if you haven't heard.
What?
No, it's not actually, but...
I was going to say, what list was that?
But we can sell that.
You could probably get that pumped up on like TripAdvisor if you get all the social media fans that listen, get on TripAdvisor. I want to be the number one attraction in America.
Potentially. I've actually, since I started doing it a couple of years ago, I've seen in other countries, like a lot of Asian countries, actually, they've created entire bars dedicated to people coming in and paying to get beat up by these women.
No way.
Yeah,
in Asia.
Like they put them in helmets, like it's
so they've taken it a step further.
they're taking it a step further, yeah. That probably requires a bit more insurance.
Yeah. If it's in Thailand, I can imagine like the victims would be young British men, and like they would have like Thai kickboxing champion bartenders.
Exactly. Yeah, no, I think it's a pretty big tourist trap though, so I don't know. Maybe I'll make a bar in Fort Lauderdale.
And I don't know what you need to do, but you need to start getting. You need to get your name on this stuff legally.
Yeah, it's tough because I've looked into it because of course I got the LLC for the company and started looking into trademarking and whatnot. But it's really just like logos and symbolism that you can
true.
take credit for. You can't really limit someone from doing an action like slapping someone in the face.
So basically, in America, you can't legally take credit for all men being slapped for money in bars. Is that what we're saying?
Correct. Yeah. But I cheer on and applaud anybody that tries.
It
and
would be
make
great if you
money
could.
doing it.
Yeah, that's true. So basically, like for anybody who's listening who is completely lost in this conversation,
Yeah, right. We probably should have done a little intro.
yeah. So Ayana is a sailor and a traveler. Previously owned boats, and we'll talk about her next boat. But she also puts on the internet beating up men for a living, which is very entertaining, I have to say. And it's become a worldwide phenomenon. It's old school, the idea, so it might have been around for a while, but you got it trending, didn't you?
Yes, it was trending. I don't know if that's exactly how I would promote it, beating people up for a living. But no, I work.
UFC works.
What's that?
The UFC works. It's the
Yeah.
same thing.
It did become like a worldwide thing though. I was on the like Brazilian news. I was getting DMs from like South America, Europe. It became pretty crazy. When I realized it was getting big, that's when I started kind of being like, okay, how can we kind of hone this in? But yeah, no, it just started. I was working at this college bar throughout school while I was studying for marine biology. And we're a huge spring break, like a nationwide spring break bar. So pretty much all the schools across the US, they come to this bar during the month of March for their spring break and they just party like rabid animals. And a lot of things go. And
We've all watched American Pie. We know what it's like.
and I was working mostly high volume bartending at the time, and it kind of evolved from there, just kind of testing the waters, playing with what worked, and then after a while, it just became like my own show, and was a huge pull for the bar. Started posting it on social media, and it blew up. Got quite a few viral videos of it, and yeah, so I do that every single March. I go back and I have an absolute blast with it. It's all, yeah, good fun.
The time of year where you beat up the men and earn loads of cash. March
Exactly.
is a good month.
And then I head off sailing again.
Yeah. And then you shoot off to the Mediterranean and enjoy a very quiet life.
Yeah,
Sorry, mate.
definitely an alter ego. The fast life is not my everyday, happenings.
No,
But
I mean not when you're mountain walking in Connecticut. It's a different vibe, isn't it?
yeah, but I mean the most extreme change was definitely when I, was still on my boat and I head off to the Bahamas and it's just kind of like, all right, well, boat jobs and swimming and spearfishing and we're just chilling.
Yeah.
So it's a big change, but I like flourishing in all the extremes of life.
Mate, do you know what though? Like you've figured out a way to do what every cruiser really wants to do, which is like have maybe I'm not speaking on behalf of everybody, but I know I'm speaking on behalf of a lot. Have the time on the boat when the weather's great, and then just get off the boat because it's crap. There's hurricanes or there's whatever.
Yeah.
Go back to land for a few months, and if you could just like not work for those 9 that you're on the boat, but then just work for those 3, and that's your free when you don't want to be around anyway, then it's actually a
Yeah.
perfect setup.
Absolutely. No, I agree. I'm so fortunate to have almost fallen into this kind of position and I was able to build like a really great rapport with the bar throughout school and yeah, I don't know what I would have done without it. Honestly, it helped me buy my boat, it helped me pay for all my travels and yeah, it really lets me compartmentalize. Like so in March, I'm busting my ass every single night.
Yeah,
And then once that's over, it's kind of just like I don't have to think about it anymore, which is fantastic. I have a lot of friends that intertwine those two with YouTube and posting, which
yeah.
I'm definitely very interested in and started doing for a little while. Actually, that'll be our next conversation probably once I do get the boat, once I have the money and I buy the boat that I'm, sought after. I'll probably start a channel on my own.
You should do one now with knocking out these dudes. Like,
I
listen,
know,
mate,
but the
there is
cross
nothing more.
between
Yeah, but there is nothing
the
more that like the vast majority of America would like to see more than it's like preppy rich little white dudes getting beat up by a woman. It's not. It will go so. It will be the biggest YouTube channel ever. You should
So
start it now.
I actually do have a Hurricane Ayana Patreon, and I wasn't doing a lot on YouTube and Instagram just because it usually gets flagged for violence. And so I wasn't really
Right.
able
Okay.
to monetize off of that. So, and I was spending a lot of time doing it because I do enjoy it. I like creating content and making videos and looking back at all of those videos. I just die laughing. Me and my friends die laughing every time. It's super entertaining. But yeah, so I do have a Hurricane Anna patron, which I'll be uploading to more often in the coming months.
Yeah.
Then I also do have a Pirate Princess patron ready to launch, but I think I'll hold off on that till I have some more steady sailing content.
Yeah, which you need a boat for.
Right,
So
exactly.
I did not. I was not completely honest when we started this podcast. I do want to talk to you about your boat choice, and I want to convince you. I want to convince you to get a different boat for very logical reasons.
Okay, I'd be
But
happy to
I'll
listen.
let you describe
Any
the boat
advice?
that you want first, because you're not completely dead set on this one. Like, but there is a
No,
type of
not at
boat that you're
all.
looking for.
Yeah, more just like I really love the deck saloons.
Yeah.
But everyone's trying to sway me in a different direction. Every time I talk to Raph, he says, go catamaran. And that's just like not in my radar at all.
Like, shame on him for saying that.
Yeah.
Actually, he's done so well with a 50-foot mono. Shame on you, Raf.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's first of all, it's just not in my price range right now. And also, I love the sporty feel of a monohull.
Yeah.
And single handing, I think it'll probably be more manageable.
Yeah, potential. Yeah, like docking, mooring up. Yeah, it's definitely easier on a mono than it is a catamaran. I think
Yeah,
from a sailing perspective, like you don't really have to leave the cockpit for a to sail a catamaran on most.
yeah.
Yeah, most of them,
Yeah,
like the
Sasha's
lagoons
been
and
telling
stuff.
me it's almost easier on the cats just because you've got the dual engine
Yeah,
thing, but I've never actually
yeah,
operated a catamaran. Hopefully soon I'll try. I'm actually doing my captain's course.
very
So
cool.
um hopefully I'll get some more experience with those and then feel it out. But yes, I'm
Well, then
happy
we've got
to hear
Odyssey
suggestions.
BVI as well. You're going to be on a 50
Yes.
something 54-foot catamaran, I think there.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
be watching closely.
So you generally want a mono hull of 40 to 45-foot range, something like that.
I've
Bit
been
of an
looking at
ocean feel.
45 50s.
Mm.
Just because I'm a big entertainer, big hoster. I like that to know. No, but I
It would be a
love,
party boat.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. No, mostly I like being surrounded by friends and family,
Yeah.
and so I think that's a huge part of it for me is showing kind of this niche lifestyle to so many people that are close to me and how great it can be.
It would be really cool, mate, because like obviously all your family are well inland and
Yeah,
your job is inland and stuff like that. Like it would be great to show to people um just what it's actually like because it's like the same
absolutely.
as my family. Like my family just could never actually envisage what do you mean you live on a boat? That's weird. Like if you say in the UK you live on a boat, it means you live like on a barge, which is like a longboat, and that's
Right.
not it's not the same. So yeah, just explaining it but being able to show it is such a cool thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually had the opportunity to do that after I crossed the Atlantic. Was in the Azores, and my family came out. My sister and her boyfriend came out, and um, yeah, like they acclimated so quickly for like never having
Oh, very
lived on a
nice.
boat before, and it was just great. By the end of it, my sister's boyfriend was driving the dinghy, and asking about all the systems, and so it was great. I mean, I until I was in 2020, basically, when I started looking at all of the sailing YouTube channels, I didn't even know you could live on a boat. And so when I had this revelation, I was like, wow, like
Yeah.
you can have the best of both worlds here. You can take your home with you anywhere you go. Um, and yeah, so I was just like, this would suit me pretty well, I think, and it did.
Yeah.
So
Fishy character. It would be
yeah.
weird if you didn't live on a boat. I'm sure that's what people would say to you if you got to the age of 40 and you still hadn't got your boat.
Yeah.
There's that
Well,
weird old
that doesn't
lady that should
happen.
live on a boat. That'll make sense. Mate, honestly, you spent time on our boat because you cruised with us this year. Like the reason why we got this is purely for entertaining. Like the cockpit can fit like 20 people in. Downstairs
Yeah.
is massive. Like
Yeah, no,
this,
the
and it
Junos
is
are great.
somewhat
I've
of a
been
deck
looking at a
saloon.
few. Yeah, exactly. I like the bright light and everything, and you guys
Yeah.
have that in the saloon. So yeah,
Yeah.
do fours, Junos. I was actually looking at oh my gosh, what are they called? They're the ones that you can beach and they have two twin keels and they
Oh,
just
like
stand up.
Southerlies.
What's that?
Like Southerlies. Oh no,
Um,
so it's a bilge keel. Oh, so yeah, just like a normal bilge keel boat.
it's like
Um,
two twin keels and they
yeah.
almost act as feet.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you can go into these tidal ranges and just completely like beach your boat, do work on it. I'm like, that would
Yeah.
save some coin.
It would, and they're actually super practical.
Yeah, and they
Mate,
have
so
the
you should
setup.
look for boats more for sale in Northern Europe. Um, like because they're quite common, like like a pretty regular thing. Like if you're in the north of Wales, if you're around the Conway area, when the because we've got like 8 meter tides, so more
Right,
than that actually. But yeah, when the estuary just like drains out, all the boats are just sat there. They're all bilge
right.
keel sailboats. It's
So
great.
cool. I think it was Sirius. That was the name of it. I don't
Serious
know if they're
yachts.
an established are they a pretty established company?
Oh, they make amazing boats as well. Serious yachts are
Yeah.
fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, those are great. Probably out of my price range as well, but dream.
You know what? They don't cost that much more, or they're in the same ballpark as like a Halberg Rassi, or just that upper end of like
Right.
normal boats before you start getting custom and super and all that.
Yeah.
So I think they're the best quality boat in that price range, but it's still a high price range.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
yeah, no, the deck saloon situation is definitely what I'm looking for. But yes, I can be swayed, so I'll definitely listen to what you have to say.
I'll just start sending you listings like every time I see the boat that I want you to get.
Please do. Please do. I think
I'll
Lauren's
send it.
already done that like all year. She's sending me listings left and right.
Yeah, there's a lot of people excited for you to get this boat, mate. So,
I'm excited. Yeah.
yeah, it's been in the works for quite a while. So, mate, what are you thinking now? Because you 26 or like 27 or something?
27. Yep.
27. Yeah, cool. Like you're really looking at being living on a boat full time within like the next year, and honestly, like obviously the period of time where you do work is incredibly like physical. You're not sleeping that much and all that. It's demanding, but it is
Right.
like it looks like retirement for like 10 months of the year. Do you know what I mean? And you will have got there at like an incredibly young age without the help of crypto or rich parents, which is pretty awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Are you thinking of like getting this whole thing set up within the next couple of years then?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I hope to buy a boat by the summertime. And
Wicked.
then I'm looking for something, I've done the whole rebuild project thing with my last boat and
Yeah.
I'm kind of just ready to get out there again and catch up to everybody who's, cross in the Med or in the Southern Caribbean. So I'll probably, depending on where I buy the boat,
Mm.
if it's going to be on the East Coast of America, then I'll start with the Bahamas and,
Yeah.
get back into all the things I love, spearfishing and free diving um, and go from there. Yeah.
Yeah, mate, that is such a good place to just like I think I would spend a long time. Like
Yeah.
when we cross the
It's hard to
Atlantic, I'm
leave.
not interested in the Caribbean, like at all, really. I'm interested in like the Bahamas, like east coast of the States, and then Panama, Colombia, that area.
Yeah. When I sailed there, cruised there for the first time, I was like, I don't know if I should start here because I don't think anything's gonna top it.
It's going to be a lot of disappointment for thousands of miles.
Right, right,
Yeah.
right. No, I
The same
mean,
with starting in Greece, actually.
what's that?
It's the same with starting in Greece. Like it's the best
Yeah.
place in the Med, and it's the place where a lot of people, like more our age, like buy boats because like
Yep.
the cheaper boats, the ex charter, all that type of stuff's here in yards, and it's
Mhm.
like everything else. But for me, it would be by the time I get to the Bahamas, would be disappointing. Actually,
Right. No, I agree completely. So, I think that's where I'll start again, and who knows if I'll ever leave. No, but
Wouldn't be a bad life, would
I'm
it?
it wouldn't be a bad life, but no, I do want to travel and I love to see all the cultures of different places and the Pacific would be amazing, but it's probably going to be a few years down the road.
Yeah, and there's so much like, right, and you know the thing, like if you're in a cruising ground where you've got a good social scene as well, like you've got in Greece, there's a lot more younger cruisers here, same as it is in like Bahamas, good crowd, like
Yeah.
all the YCA bunch are always there. A season will just blow by, like it'll be
Oh
so
yeah.
quick, like you'll
Yeah.
socialize, you'll meet loads of new people, and you won't have seen half of it.
Absolutely. I agree.
So don't commit to not staying there for the rest of your life yet. You could really enjoy it. One
Yeah,
of
no,
the
no commitments.
One of the advantages of getting one in Europe is you could definitely get the same boat for a lot cheaper in Europe.
Oh, the deals are insane. I've
Yeah,
been
yeah,
looking at them. They're it's incredible. I think I will end up buying something there.
yeah.
But
It's super
uh
cheap. And all your contractors, like $40 an hour for a mechanic, for an electrician, for a welder, like the rates in Florida are nuts.
oh yeah. Yeah, how is it what you were saying getting parts and stuff is kind of I've heard
So
Montenegro is a really good place to build a boat.
yes and no, for different reasons. Okay, so Greece building a boat anywhere in Europe is actually really, or rebuilding anywhere in Europe is really easy as long as it's within the EU. So like Greece is fine for getting stuff sent from like Germany, France, not UK anymore, but it's not bad. Um, so I wouldn't say there's really a problem with it. It's a top spot, mate, for people, working on boats. The yards are huge here, and
Yeah.
like the chandleries have generally got everything. The nicest part about it, though, it's like I've spoke to a lot of people who've like refit boats in the States, and the prices they're coming out with is just crazy. Like
Yeah.
paint jobs and teak work, and you need a diesel mechanic to turn up, and like the prices are just insane.
Yeah.
It's like that has got to play a major factor in it for me. Like, if you don't want to be around or you can't, or you need to go back and work, but you want the mast taken down and the stuff doing, like, God, it can cost a fortune in America now.
Right. I want to be able to afford it.
Well, you just start needing to work an extra 5 years, wouldn't you? Every time your boat gets taken out
Yeah.
of the water.
Hoping not to have to, as much as I love going to the club every March, I'm hoping not to have to do it forever.
Because of a rigger's invoice. Yeah, that would be quite
Yeah.
annoying. Yeah. I say, oh, mate, it'd be cool. Just talk about your background as well, because you are a marine biologist.
Yes.
You're a qualified paddy diver as well, aren't you?
I am a patty
You
dive
did your
master.
scuba diving stuff. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome. Uh,
Specialty instructor, not full instructor, but
no, that's good enough. I've not got a single one of those things, so, so it doesn't stop me. I haven't got a single one.
yeah, I started off my love for travel kind of it was geared towards diving.
Yeah.
So I actually got my dive master in Costa Rica and I lived and worked there for about 4 months in a dive shop and I got to dive like 2 to 3 times a day
Oh,
and just see like I mean it was on the Pacific coast, so just see the most incredible wildlife and like big stuff. There's like whales, pilot whales, orcas, huge manta rays and stingrays and
that's
turtles.
nuts.
Yeah, so it really like sparked my love for the ocean, and that's when I decided to become a marine biologist after that, actually.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's literally the same thought I had, but I never followed through with the education part. I've always been obsessed with sea life. I had like a huge reef tank when I lived in Dubai. It was like I think it was 4 meters long, but I had like a shrimp in there and corals and sea fish. And like for me, like literally the first time I went scuba diving, I was like, this is nuts. There's like a complete other universe down here. Like, this is
It's
interesting.
the close, I always say it's the closest thing to being in outer space fully.
Without a doubt. And the
I would
crazy
say,
thing as well is
yeah,
it's so much more dangerous than outer space. Actually, like it's the reason why we go to space more than we go to the bottom of the ocean. Like one's possible, the other
yeah.
one's not. Um, but yeah, that's cool that you actually followed through with that. And
Thank you.
do you think that played any part in deciding that you want to live on a on a boat as well?
Um, I mean, yeah, of course. So once I started my degree program, I was kind of taking any opportunity I could to volunteer, do field work, research, and I ended up doing this 2 week shark tagging expedition in the Dry Tortugas with the University of Miami.
Oh, wow.
And I tagged juvenile like 12 or 14-foot tiger shark and did all these workups on
A juvenile is 12 foot.
tiger sharks get up to like 20 feet.
Oh, no. Okay. Too big.
Yeah, no, we couldn't take on the big ones. The boat wasn't that big, but it was a live aboard, research expedition, and it just like I was like, this is amazing,
Yeah.
and so I was in Fort Lauderdale studying, so I would even go down there for day trips out in Biscayne Bay, shark tagging, and I really got into that. Um, Unfortunately, when I graduated, it was COVID. And so instead of going into
Oh,
biology, the positions were sparse at the time. I started working in healthcare.
right.
I started doing molecular oncology, so like cancer research, pretty much. So I did that for about a year. Really enjoyed it, but the money wasn't there.
Yeah.
I made more at the bar, 2 nights a week, unfortunately.
That's
Um,
go crazy. That's
yeah.
so nuts. You're more a bar than you do curing cancer.
Yeah, so it's very, very much a degree or a job for the soul.
Yeah.
So I hope to incorporate it actually once I establish my channel. I hope to incorporate some conservation stuff and just start reading more and I'm always interested when I'm traveling. Like the first thing I'm, Googling is, what's the wildlife in the area, what's the
Yeah.
ecology, and so I definitely look forward to sharing that in my videos.
Oh, no, mate, I'm going to give a shout out to my mate Bryn, but I'm also going to put you in touch with him. He's my mate who's a marine biologist. He's also a sailor, but he's got like this
Perfect.
nuts history. He set up a lot of aquariums in the UK and like won awards for them and stuff like that. Like super talented
Wow.
dude. He's just got a new house and he's like refit renovating. You say renovate when it's a house, you don't say refit. So he's like renovating
The
his
whole
entire
thing an
house.
aquarium?
No, his entire house is going to be aquariums.
Oh my,
Um, Mate, everything is going to be
incredible.
aquarium. And yeah, he's got like terrariums everywhere, and he's having like this walk through conservatory that he's going to do a living wall on and stuff. And
Like a
like,
whole atrium in his house.
it's just going to be the best house in the world.
Wow.
But yeah, I'll put you in touch with him because yeah, when it
That'd be
comes to like
great.
conservation and stuff like that, he knows quite a thing or two about
Does
the
he have
oceans.
Instagram? What's his name? I'll look him up.
His name's Bryn. I don't know
Is
what, I
he-
can't remember what their Instagram is. I'll
Oh,
send
that's all
it.
right. Just
I'll
send it
send
to
it
me.
to you,
Yeah.
and I'll
I
put a
need to see
tag on
this
this
house.
podcast. Actually, I'll put a tag on for him in there as well.
Oh,
Um,
perfect.
yeah, that's really cool, mate. So, just about your previous experience with your last boat, because you bought a boat, you refit it, you went cruising, and then you got rid of it. Um,
Yes.
so what was that like? Like, was that a case of you saved up a bit of cash and you were just went to a boatyard and were like, "What's available?" Or were you looking for something for a specific reason?
Yeah, so I had just graduated in December of 2019, and then it was spring 2020, so the height of COVID. Everything was shut down. I was just binge watching sailing YouTube on my couch. Um, and me and my boyfriend at the time were just like, he was basically like, look at this. And I was like, wow,
Looks
like
nice.
that looks nice. Like, can we do that? Like,
Mm,
So and honestly, 3 months later, we bought the boat and we bought it in Connecticut. Something amazing actually. It was my first spring break, the 15 days prior to, the US shutdown on, I think it was March 15th. I was working my first spring break at this bar. And I had made enough money within the 2 weeks to buy my boat cash. And
nuts.
it wasn't an expensive boat, but still quite an accomplishment to be
Still a
able to
boat.
say that. And it was pretty much ready to sail at the time. It just needed like the off-grid upgrades,
Yeah,
batteries, solar, water maker, all of that. So I didn't know anything at the time. I handed the cash over, grabbed the keys. I actually bought it in Brooklyn, had to take it back 2 days to Connecticut. And
nice.
so I was like, all right, well, let's figure this out. Anchored for the first time on the Long Island Sound for a night.
No
And
way.
it was like an incredible experience. And then honestly, trial and error in the Long Island Sound for the summer,
Yeah,
figuring out, just pulling lines, figuring out what worked, what didn't, had a few scary moments. And the next, I believe it was next in that fall, I took the boat down to through the ICW down to Florida through the intercoastal. So
wicked.
motored a lot and cut out into the open ocean when, weather permitted.
Yeah,
And then I picked up work right away to start saving and, refitting the boat. So we refitted the boat on anchor in Fort Lauderdale before we headed to the Bahamas.
no way. Oh my God. So actually getting that boat and setting you down the ICW and arriving in Florida and then picking up your first job in Florida, like this whole internet sensation of like beating up men for a bit of cash, stemmed from sailing.
Yeah, yes. I don't know if I would have ended up back in in that, in
Maybe.
my college, but potentially. But yeah, it all worked together in a beautiful way. And Fort Lauderdale is actually very cool because they call it the Venice of America because we have tons of canals that go throughout the whole downtown area.
Yeah.
And this bar is in downtown. So pretty much we're anchored in the intercoastal, which is, pretty protected area to have your boat on anchor almost all year round. And then you can take the dinghy 10 minutes up the river, tie it up to the public dock, and walk 2 blocks to the bar.
That's pretty
So every
convenient, isn't it?
night, yes, it was very convenient for me. So every night I would go, 9 p.m. to 5 a.m., like jumping, crazy music, ambient. You can imagine the ambiance to walking to the dinghy dock, going to the quiet anchorage, like just the craziest
Meditating.
like switch.
Yeah.
But really, like, just really neat experience.
Yeah, that would have been great. That would have been such a cool experience. It's almost like, when you suppose like when you leave house when you go to college and you get that first job during summer, but like absolutely maxed out. A very cool way to do it.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's awesome. Um, right. So what are the plans then, mate? What's going on moving forward? You're gonna do this season of work and then just head out boat shopping, it seems.
Yeah, hopefully I'll be able to join for the Odyssey Festival in the spring. It's
That's
like
mandatory.
first week of April, right?
Yeah, April the 1st to the 8th. I
Okay,
imagine
yeah, so
you're
it's
going to be
gonna
hanging out with Raf and Sash.
yes.
Yeah,
So usually the last week of March things trickle down. So hopefully I'll be able to take a quick flight over and join you guys for that.
yeah.
Um, and I'm working on my captain's course right now. That's kind of my main focus at the moment. And then also getting all the social medias up and running to start sharing my journey because I think I'll probably start doing the, vlog posting for the, boat shopping
Oh,
journey.
yeah, definitely.
That's probably a good place to start.
Yeah, wicked, mate. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
up
Well,
until
I
then,
will.
just working hard to, make the money.
Yeah, keep the dough rolling. Well,
Yeah.
mate, I'll see you in a couple of months then.
Yes, I hope so.
Yeah, we keep on bumping into each other in different parts of the world. Bizarrely.
It's
So,
great.
yeah, it's great. Well, I'll see you in the BVR and I'll probably see you in Greece in the summer as well.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Looking
Oh,
forward
mate,
to it.
before you go, just go through your socials and website or any of that type of stuff.
Oh yeah, so my main handle is Pirate Princess Chronicles on Instagram. That's also going to be the patron handle. That's also my TikTok. And then if you're interested in dabbling in the Hurricane Ayana experience,
careful.
that's also Instagram, TikTok, and Patreon under Hurricane Ayana.
And it should be YouTube as well, but we'll continue to talk about
There
that.
actually is a YouTube, but it's not huge because of, regulations.
Because the federal government buggers.
There is Pirate Princess and Hurricane Ayana YouTube already up and running, but not as steadily posting at the moment.
Cool. Well, there it is.